Hello traders, good day to you all. This is Christopher Glen. Today is the 7th of October 2014. This is the daily market review for the current market status. We've received several announcements this morning regarding the Australian dollar. I can tell you that the Australian dollar was among the strong currencies earlier this morning, but at the moment my aspect is that we will see a weaker Australian dollar along the week. Moving forward to several more announcements that we received a bad indication regarding the pound. Although the pound bounced a bit against itself, but eventually it diverged and started gaining strength in front of the dollar. We will see this image in a second. Canadian dollar received bad announcement regarding the building permits at 1:30, and regarding the Canadian dollar, again we will see the chart itself. We'll see that basically we've received low amount of expression from the announcements themselves. Basically, the market is just bouncing in a corrective patterns. I can say that the dollar began this week by losing strength. Very logical because we had an enormous amount of volume on Friday because of good announcements regarding non-farm payroll, and after that we were expecting to see pullbacks, just a common reaction of the traders. At the moment, we're approaching time frame where we'll receive both FOMC members' speech regarding economy. Nothing real special going on over there. I'm not expecting to see significant changes regarding the dollar in the market. Let's move forward to tomorrow. We've got a very important announcement over here, the FOMC meeting at 7 p.m. Until then, we will receive a pretty quiet market. As I said, my expect is that we will see the Australian dollar losing strength, and I saw a good potential to express that in front of the Swiss franc and euro. If you ask me, the Swiss franc is expected to gain more strength in the market generally than the euro. Therefore, my preferable chart will be Australian dollar versus Swiss franc for a short position downtrend movement. Let's go to the charts. So again, looking at the dollar index, we can see that since the beginning of this week, which occurred over here, we received the beginning of the downtrend movement, fluctuation level, potential to see a weaker dollar continuing its downtrend movement again, not significantly because we don't have a lot of announcements until tomorrow evening. But until then, I do expect to see a bit more weakness on behalf of the dollar, which obviously reflects weakness of the dollar in front of the gold, meaning a stronger gold in the market. Looking at the gold chart, we can still see a nice structure of a pullback. Again, we had a very long-term downtrend movement. We've reached a very important area over here, the 1180 period, and if we'll pay attention to the previous indications, you can see that this area is very difficult to cross on behalf of the gold. It bounced several times against the same line, and at the moment it's forming a pullback. A logical pullback, the basic logical pullback that we're expecting to receive over here will be approximately 1220, 1230, and over there we'll need to reassess our position. But at the moment it seems like the gold is climbing up, expressing the weakness of the dollar. Again, if the dollar eventually tomorrow evening will gain strength, then we're expecting to see divergence on this chart. Until then, we're in a position for a long position on the gold, the uptrend movement on the gold. We've been talking a bit about the South African rand. Climbed up very nicely toward the last peak that we had back in February, January. And at the moment, again, an expectation for a fluctuation level around this level, bouncing backward and forward until we'll receive some sort of confirmation regarding a continuance of a stronger dollar in the market. Till then, we'll see the sideways corrective pattern. If we'll go back to the calendar, again, we've got an announcement regarding the dollar tomorrow evening, but also we've got the unemployment claims on Thursday, and on Friday will be a very clean and not really important day on behalf of the dollar, but the employment change and unemployment rate in Canada. So we're not expecting to see a lot of liquidity on behalf of the dollar, but the turning points of the dollar will be on Thursday regarding the unemployment claims, and the day before, Wednesday, on the FOMC announcements. Let's look at the pound versus the US dollar. As I said, the pound earlier received better announcement, but we saw that indeed the pound is forming a pullback, just reflecting the diverse movement of the dollar index. If we'll place the dollar index on top of this chart, you can see that indeed once we receive weakness on behalf of the dollar, then the pound is not really gaining strength generally in the market, but expressing the weakness of the dollar in the market. So that is definitely the aspect of the dollar, not the pound. The pound generally got weaker in the market since this morning. And we can say that the market is still reflecting strong Australian dollar, New Zealand and Japanese yen, while the dollar and Swiss franc are expressing weakness. But again, I'm expecting the dollar to lose more strength for the next several hours until tomorrow evening, when we'll reassess our position. And beside that, the Swiss franc is expressing a bit of weakness. Again, just a matter of sideways corrective patterns since the beginning of this week. Wish you all the best with your trades. Have a pleasant day and bye bye.